I went out there on like a really short board because I wanted to see how small a board I could ride that day. And it turns out it was just a little bit too small. And then, so I gave one of the Hawaiian Groms had my board that I normally ride out there, and he got a bunch of sick ones. I was like, yeah, let's keep getting waves. And then he got a really good one. I'm like, oh, I might grab one now. And I grabbed the board, paddled out to the lineup, and like literally sat there for a second. And there was a set, and I think there was a couple of waves before it that were a bit smaller, and everyone was little bit further in. And then I paddled out to the wave I caught, and no one was really. I was just happened to be in position, and I've dropped in, and I think the lad paddled for the wave before and just got caught out of position. It's a funny wave. You can think you're in the spot and you can paddle hard and it can just keep moving further in and just ledge under you. And I'm guessing that's what happened. And then he's just being caught out for that next wave as it's come through.
Right. And so what's your vision as you're knifing into that thing? What can you see?
Yeah, I kind of halfway down, I kind of like the rail was just catching a bit. So that kind of had my attention for a second and kind of slowed me down, which in hindsight was probably really lucky because I would have copped the brunt of the board probably even worse. But I've just scooped under the lip, and then I just kind of seen the board was just hovering up in the lip. And I'm like I think I'll be sweet. I'm not sure. And I just kind of had the lip right next to me, like so close next to me. And like, I was kind of where the foam ball was, and I'm like, my kind of only option here, I got nowhere to jump off. I just got to like kind of slow down, and I've just slowed down, and it just came like straight for me, just connected.
Fuck, man. I've been thinking that this might happen at that wave more than any other wave.
It's been insane because like I've kind of been there. I was there that kind of like first session when I seen Morgo transition the place from like a tow wave to a paddle wave. Because when I was 13, I was like I was on my 13th birthday. I went out there, and it was just a tow wave. Everyone was towing. It was a giant day, and I think it was Morgo. It was definitely Morgo, and I think Birch might have paddled a couple as well. And that's kind of when it transitioned from a tow wave to a paddle wave. And then there's been some really big days, and people don't realize that if the tide's low and it's big enough, there's actually a second ledge where it can properly go top to bottom, and it'll clear the whole lineup out. So I've definitely thought at some point, like one of those boards is going to hit someone. I didn't think it would maybe be the way that happened with me, but I thought maybe, one of those boards would get caught in a big cleanup set and maybe connect with someone. Because there's like 40 people, and there's just like nowhere to like jockey or move out of the way. So I've had sessions out there where it's been borderline capping on the next ledge, and I'm like, kind of was always a little bit hesitant to maybe sit right in where you wanted to be, just on the chance that happened. Because these boards are like, some of them are 100 liters and they weigh like 15 kilos. Like it's just, you don't want to be getting tangled up with them. But kind of thought, yeah, as I said, at some point it was going to happen. I definitely didn't think it was going to be me, and I didn't think it was going to like come on from like the way it did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the other guy who springs to mind who's nearly had his head taken off out there was, Paul Morgan. The Lockie Rambouts, Paul Morgan, just like, a miscommunication on a seriously consequential wave. And
yeah, that was a funny one. I was there that day too. And, like I get it because the wave is so skits, and it's like you're dealing with 15-foot waves with a fair bit of period behind them, and they ledge out and slab like a normal slab, and you got these giant boards, and so it kind of like it just frizzes you. Like people like it's like their circuits just fry out, and it's just like it's just a snap moment where you just swing and you're in this like weird zone, and they just sent it. And Morg's happened to be on the inside, which is probably the guy you don't want to burn. He's like the godfather of the spot. There was definitely like heated words on that occasion, but they sorted it out, and Lockie kind of surfs the place as good as anyone now. And what he does is pretty crazy. But yeah, I guess the point is just the way it can play with people's minds, and like you literally pulls you so in the zone you don't even realize there's someone on the inside.